Welcome, everybody. We're going to talk to you today about Lightning Stylesheets, Switch with Style. I'm Stephanie Ruiz. I am the, I'm the Director of UX Engineering for the Design System Framework team.
I'm Doug Malador. I'm a Senior UX Designer on the Framework team for the Design System.
And nobody knows what this is about, right? Have you seen this at all? Essentially, please don't make any decisions based on what we tell you today. Now, how many of you have already made the switch to Lightning?
All right.
Okay. You had Visualforce pages going in, right? How many of you had like over 20? You don't count. Anybody have over 50? Okay. 100? Okay. All right. And how many of you are looking at switching now? That's what you're evaluating here at Dreamforce. A good bit. All right. Do any of you have over 50 Visualforce pages? Over 100? So we're looking at maybe a little over 50 for some of you here. You know, it's kind of a daunting task when you look at the number of Visualforce pages you have, and as you are going in to change things, we want to make it easy for you. We know that your customizations are in Visualforce, and that SLDS, or the Lightning Design System, didn't really support that until now. But let me tell you a little scenario and see if this sounds familiar. Jean is an adept admin, and Jean has been waiting to switch to Lightning. And finally, she gets to work, and her boss, the CTO, has sent her an email, and it says, Jean, we've got all the contracts signed. Everything is ready. Pull the trigger, make the switch. Let's move to Lightning. And Jean's excited. But if any of you have ever moved from one house to another house, a nicer house, and you were really excited, well, Jean felt like she had just gotten the keys to a $10 million dream house. But the problem is Jean's furniture is all the furniture she has accumulated over the years, maybe since college dorm rooms or inheriting things from her grandmother, to the most recent stuff, kind of like your Visualforce pages, right? And so Jean looks at it and she says, well, you know, I'd love to get modern stuff, but this is what I have, move it on in. We'll see what happens. Now, in a perfect world, Jean would go ahead and buy super modern modular furniture, fill up her beautiful dream house with that. That would be the Lightning components that Jean is working towards. But in reality, Jean has to deal with what's in the moving truck, all her Visualforce pages, her old furniture. Now, we want Jean to be super happy, and so we have created something to make Jean's life easier. Jean knows that she has got to make plans, get contractors in. There's, you know, if it's a big project, there's a lot of prioritization to do. So at Salesforce, we want you to make this move simply and smoothly as well. So we've provided slipcovers. How many of you have ever used slipcovers in your house? I had to use slipcovers when my kids were small because somebody got hot pink bubblegum on my white sofa. Nobody will admit who did it, and I couldn't get it out. But in the end, I got a great blue denim slipcover, covered that white sofa up, actually made it more modern anyway, looked great. And so that's kind of the idea here. The furniture underneath, or your Visualforce page, will remain the same. All your customizations will be there, nothing will be touched. We're just giving you the tablecloth to put over your card table until your beautiful oak piece gets in, or the slipcovers for your chairs and your sofas. Now, there are 3 ways that you can kind of inch into migrating to Lightning. The first one, Doug's going to show you a couple of these. The first one is what I just talked about, the Lightning Stylesheets attribute. That is what we call slipcovers. And then there's the second one, which is adding the design system using Apex SLDS to your page, kind of like reupholstering some things where the Lightning style sheet might not be enough. And the third one is your ultimate goal. Eventually, you want to get those especially really important pages moved over to the Lightning components so that they are that modular Scandinavian furniture, so that you can make your dream house connected to things that you can only do in the Lightning experience, like say to your house, hey, Einstein. Okay, it's hey, Siri, and you want Einstein things, but I like hey, Einstein. Anyway, I'm going to turn it over to Doug to show you how this works.
All right, let's show them. All right, so what I have here is your typical Visualforce page, and it's really just a detail, but you see it all the time. It spits out a page block and related lists, and looks like classic, but we're within the Lightning experience. So I'm just going to go into the code for this page. I'm just going to enter in Lightning style sheets. I don't even have to type it all out. I'll save that and refresh. Hold for dramatic pause. And that page instantly looks like Lightning. Now this feature will work on every Visualforce page, on every Salesforce org, no matter how you've coded it, right?
Don't believe everything he says.
Yeah, you might want to check that, right? So what we've got is a Chrome extension functionality that's coming soon in the Lightning Inspector Chrome extension. And what I'll show you there is, without even touching the code, I've got the same Visualforce page here. I've added some custom styling. I'll just open up the browser action on the extension and apply Lightning style sheets. I didn't even touch the code, but it pulls it in so I can evaluate what this page looks like if I were to implement the feature. I could also take a look at the other style sheets that I have coming into this page, so I can turn them on and off to see how my custom styles are affecting this new feature that I may be implementing. Maybe I don't even need them anymore. So here I've got my Visualforce page, and the existing code is converted to Lightning, and it looks great. But what if I want to add something to it? I've got an example here where I've got this detail list, but I want to add something to it. And I know that Lightning style sheets will take that list there and convert that. But what if I want to add something to it that also looks like Lightning? And that component doesn't exist within Visualforce. So for that, you would use the Lightning design system. And here I've got placeholders, kind of where I want to put a page header, and I want to put a card here with 3 tiles in there, which would promote these opportunities which are in the list. I go over to the Lightning Design System website, lightningdesignsystem.com, and we'll go in here, and this will show you the list of components that you can pick from, which essentially allows you to bring in HTML that's already pre-built, vetted for accessibility, using the best practices. And you can take the HTML samples, and I'll go to that card example that I want to use. So I think that's the one with tiles that I wanted. So here, in the design system, is the HTML I need to bring into that Visualforce page so that I can get this component in that Visualforce page. So what I'll do is I'll do that real quick. I've got a handy copy button here, so that code is in my clipboard right now. I'm going to the developer console for this page. And so what I want to do with this page, first of all, is add the Lightning style sheets equals true. Some other things, So what you'll need to bring in the Lightning Design System, you're bringing in the HTML, but you need the styling for that. What you'll need then is the Apex SLDS tag here. So I'm going to take that and add that to my page. There's some other considerations I need to do with my page. You want to turn off your body tag and your HTML tag. Those are kind of things necessary when you're bringing in, especially areas of the Lightning Design System that coexist with your Visualforce pages. And when I say that, when they need to coexist, they coexist because of the scoping capability that's within the Apex SLDS styles that come in. What you'll need to do is wrap those areas that are the design system code in a class, and I'll show you that here. So I still have that code from the site in my clipboard. I'm going to go and paste it here in the placeholder I have for that card. So I've got all that code in there. And what I'm going to do, then I was mentioning the scoping. I put all that code inside an Apex output panel. You could put it into a div, but as long as you give it that SLDS scope class, then the HTML that I pulled from the website will look just like it did in the website when I'm putting it into my Visualforce page. So I'm going to save that. And when I refresh, I've got the card up along the top like I wanted, and I've got the list below that's converted using Lightning Stylesheets. So the icons in here aren't showing up, and that's just one issue of just resolving the URLs to the asset within them. And I've got that to where, flash forward, a little magic. I've also brought in the page header, but this is really just essentially copy and pasting from the Lightning Design System website. And now I've got my promoted opportunities page all ready to go.
Awesome.
All right.
Great work, Doug. So you see how simple that is. Are we moving to the slides?
Yes, let me get to the slides.
We're going to move back to the slides.
I don't know, the page looks so good, you know.
I know, it looks so good.
Doug
Doug doesn't want to leave it. All right. So, as a reminder, we have Lightning Stylesheets equals true. You have an extension to test it, a single attribute to add, and when you're in Classic, you will remain styled as Classic. So if you have some of your users that decide they don't really want to use Lightning, even though you've moved your org to Lightning, it's okay. They can roll back to Classic, and they will still have the Classic look. Lightning Stylesheets won't affect that at all. Simple CSS change. And then, like we talked about, you have the option of Lightning Stylesheets. If it's not quite enough, you have a little bit of customization. You can add the design system with the Apex SLDS. And finally, on the pages that you will prioritize to change first, because they're the most important or they're the most customized, you'll want to use the Lightning components. We've got some resources for you here. These will go into the details that Doug kind of alluded to with the body tag and the HTML tag and scoping and pulling things in the way you need it. We've also got some stickers down here in front with Lightning Stylesheets equals true to remind you of how to do it if you're planning to test this out. And we will be blogging in the developer blog as soon as the extension is ready, hopefully very, very soon. We're almost there. With that, I say thank you, and thank you, Doug, for demonstrating. And if there are any questions, we have 5 minutes. So are there any questions related to this? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so she's asking how to work with managed packages where she has Visualforce pages inside. I don't think you will be able to affect those unless you can actually put that line of code in. It'd be pretty cool if your managed package people would give you that option. Maybe you could ask. Yeah. Any others? All right. If there are no other questions, thank you so much for coming. We'll be down here. You can come up and privately ask things as well. And have a great end of Dreamforce.
Thank you all.